What was it that you can share with us that made this the right decision for them to go with Ron Rivera?
Well, I think it's in conjunction with the news that Bruce Allen is out as president of the Washington Redskins after 10 years, and he's no longer with the organization in any capacity. And I think that's the key phrase, because I think a lot of people in Washington thought that he would be kept on to try to work for the new stadium with some of the political connections that he had built up over time. But the fact of the matter is Dan Snyder, the Redskins owner, felt like this organization needed an entirely new, clean, fresh start. And the fresh start starts with basically wiping out Bruce and bringing in Ron Rivera and having Ron help assemble a front office that he's comfortable with no remnants, really no real remnants of the previous regime there. Now, Eric Schefter is still there, and he's a very good football man, and there's a very good chance he's going to wind up working in the Redskins front office. But Ron Rivera is somebody who, when he was fired by Carolina, you saw the reaction on social media from the players that he had coached about the type of man and type of leader he is. And I think that is probably the greatest testimony that somebody could have, and greatest job recommendation that somebody could get, is having the people that you worked with speak as sentimentally and emotionally as many of those Carolina Panthers players did about Ron Rivera. And so the Washington Redskins recognized the type of person he was, type of leader he was, his connections to the military, and they said, this is the guy that we would like leading this organization forward. And so they bring him in today, and they'll go over how the organization will look and function and structure. But they are expected to get that deal done and completed, and he is expected to be the next head coach of the Washington Redskins.
So basically, Dan Snyder disagreed with Bruce Allen. The culture wasn't damn good in Washington, and there's a new change.
Didn't seem so. All right, so Adam, we know names out there. Obviously, Ron Rivera, Mike McCarthy. We've heard the two college guys, Matt Rhule and Lincoln Riley. Who are some of the other assistants out there, or others that maybe people don't know, that are going to be interviewed and have the potential to get some jobs?
Well, look, let's be honest here. We have, at this point in time, the Redskins job is going to be filled. So you're talking about the Panthers job, the Browns job, and what I would presume to be the Giants and Cowboys jobs. Okay? Now, those are the jobs that we know or we believe will come open here. Now, there could be the Jaguars, could be. We'll see how that one plays out. There could always be a surprise. But it's not an extensive list of teams this year that's looking for a head coach. And in fact, if you go back, I always say this at this time of the year, to the turn of the century, the league average is 6.7 head coaching changes per year. And so you've got a situation where with the 6.7, I think that's going to come in under this year, under. And so when you ask for the other names, well, one job is going to be filled here. And then I think there's a group of names that you look at as guys who I think are going to be in real contention for these other jobs, and that would be Matt Rhule at Baylor. That would be Josh McDaniels in New England. That would be Kevin Stefanski, the Vikings offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator. Mike McCarthy is still on the sidelines. Marvin Lewis is still on the sidelines. Some former NFL head coaches. And again, you heard Jerry Jones voice some concern about what the transition is like for a college coach to go from the college game to the pro game. And I've heard other people say that it is a very hard move to make. And so while I do believe that Matt Rhule is square in play and has a good chance at getting one of these head coaching jobs, I don't know that we're going to see this mass exodus of college coaches to the pro game this year.
We're talking to Adam Schefter, ESPN senior NFL insider on Golic and Wingo. So, Shefty, Ron Rivera goes to the Redskins partially because the Panthers obviously let him go. That was such an early move. Is there any sense of what their timing is now, or what they're doing at their head coaching search?
With the Carolina Panthers, they basically have already interviewed Mike McCarthy. That is one guy that they wanted to speak with. I would imagine that they'll speak with Matt Rhule and Josh McDaniels. I would think that they'll try to get permission to do that at some point in the next couple of days with Josh McDaniels. I think they are looking for, again, some of the traits that we just outlined, the leader of men, somebody who develops players, things that I think a lot of organizations, nothing revolutionary there. But I think we start with those list of guys right there, McCarthy, Rhule, McDaniels, and beyond that, we'll see where their search expands to.
Adam Schefter with us. Adam, Jerry Jones basically said after the win over the Washington Redskins on Sunday that he has a timetable. He's just not going to share it. Do you have any update on when a decision might come down on what Jason Garrett's future looks like?
Listen, his contract's up January 14th. So this is really very simple. okay, you release a statement here in the next day or two that just says Jason Garrett has decided to pursue other opportunities, as have we. And everybody goes their own way. They don't even have to fire him. Contract's up. So that's the situation as it currently stands. So, again, I don't see this going any other way. But Jerry just wants to take some time, go over some things, and look, he's not in any rush. He's got the Dallas Cowboys job to sell and give away. He feels like somebody will want that job. Many people will want that job. People will be lined up for that job. So there's no great rush for his part. He wants to make sure he does everything right and thorough.
We're talking to Adam Schefter, ESPN senior NFL insider. Quickly before we let you go, Schefty, any update on what's next for Cleveland?
Well, listen, they made the move last night with Freddie Kitchens. They don't do that and make that move without having a candidate in mind. And I think with them, it's almost kind of simple because they've been through this so much. We've seen what they've done. 2 years ago, the two finalists for that job before they went with Hugh Jackson were Sean McDermott and Josh McDaniels. Last year, there were factions of the organization that wanted to hire Kevin Stefanski. So again, I'm just going to do this logically. If they had interest in Josh McDaniels 2 years ago, and there were people who wanted them to hire Kevin Stefanski last year, wouldn't you figure that both those names would be in connection to that job? There's also a contingent of Green Bay people there. Wouldn't you figure Mike McCarthy would be in play there? There's also a college coach in that state who's rather popular in Urban Meyer. You'd think that he would be in play there. It's really not hard to figure a group of candidates that Cleveland would have interest in at this point in time.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, more analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.